Kaya, please just fucking go. Just stop. Bro, he said you're abusing Kyle. Like, no way, fuck him. Yeah, I mean, if he thinks that he can suck
He didn't say that. He said it looked that way. And even you said it looked that way.
Hasan Piker. What a heartthrob. What an awesome, amazing, sexy man he is. He's the main reason I even became a liberal.
Hasan Piker, Twitch's loudest leftist, just sparked one of his wildest scandals yet. His response was to rant on about how evil his critics are and how their favorite musical note is A minor. Can Hasan come back from this, or is this the end of his empire?
I actually know a good handful of fairly radical people who were radicalized by the radical people that they thought were hot at the time. Like, actually a kind of freaky amount. And I think that happened. I think that that's been happening increasingly is, you know, and also just how much they want to fuck Hasan Piker.
If you take a look at Hasan Piker, he's a man full of contradictions. One of my favorite viewers made a comment that I think a lot of people on the right, or even moderate-leaning people, ask about Hasan. Why is he relevant? Well, ladies and gentlemen, he, like another person I covered on this channel, Dylan Geik, was sort of handed clout. You see, Hasan is a Turkish American, and the Turkish part is sort of the key word here. Piker's uncle, Ugur Cenk, I think I'm saying that right, is the founder of the Young Turks media company. Hasan got into politics not because of his boyish charm or his strapping intellectualism.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
But mainly because his uncle handed him an internship at the Young Turks, which is a huge opportunity for anyone, but especially for someone looking to build an audience with liberal-leaning Americans. Hasan built a large audience on his uncle's platform of millennial and Gen Z liberals, and 4 years into his career at the Young Turks, he began streaming part-time. Young Turk fans flocked to his Twitch, and he continued to work for TYT for another 2 years, funneling fans who watched his program into his solo venture and creating quite the audience for himself. So really, Hasan Piker is not only a Nepo baby, but the ultimate grifter. He didn't earn the audience himself. He panhandled on the corners of Young and Turk. And let's be real, no one watched the show for this guy. The real reason people tuned in for any real amount of time was to get a little bit of eye candy. Yep, it's always the beautiful ones who are the most crazy. Case in point, but his uncle's Count Olaf-esque media empire, and by that I mean dirty, disgusting, and crumbling, wasn't the only thing that kept Hasan in the limelight. He had his fair share of bat-mess crazy things to say himself. We played one of them just now.
America deserved 9/11, dude.
But words are words, right? Hasan Piker has also been known to dabble with ladies of the night. There are mixed opinions about the ethicality of such hobbies, but one of the places Hasan has been known to frequent was a Berlin strip club / brothel called Artemis, which was shut down for human trafficking. I'll give Hasan the benefit of the doubt. He probably wasn't aware that anything that bad was going on, and he did have a really good excuse. And actually, I wouldn't call it an excuse. He had a really good reason for hiring women to, Hasan was advocating for the women involved in that type of work. That was his reasoning. He visited these women not to objectify or use them for gratification, but because of his big, or maybe not so big,
do you think maybe he's compensating for something?
Pulsing, throbbing heart. Now that's a story I'll believe. And remember when I said that Hasan Piker is a man of contradictions? I'm not talking about the fact that he's a socialist and also a multimillionaire who earns hundreds of thousands of dollars a month in a capitalist economy. No, that's beside the point. Hasan Piker hates his audience.
I can't stand any of you dumps in this goddamn chat. Oh my fucking God, I hate the left. I hate liberalism. I hate everything that's going on every single day of the goddamn week. I hate my life. I hate streaming. I hate socialism. I hate every single person who thinks that the peak of activism is just being the most annoying, holier than thou, the most ultimately woke leftist. You did it. You have unlocked the nihilism within me, okay? I am black-pilled. Nothing will ever get better. We are never going to make it out. We can't even have a normal, non-hostile goddamn conversation on any of these issues. Everybody just simply wants to chirp into the wind because they have no power, and they recognize their utter powerlessness in the face of unjustifiable constructs that we can exist under. And the best possible thing you can do is just be annoying, okay?
Does this guy make any sense to any of you? He literally says that the nihilism in him has been unlocked. I mean, in some sense, Hasan has already alienated a faction of the left because these two dipshits got together and decided to further each other's careers. And destiny actually really helped Hasan as he was getting into the Twitch business. And I really don't want to cover this too much in this video because I plan to dedicate a full-length video to it later on. But these two did what everyone on the left did, and they fought each other. In fact, to this day, Destiny and Hasan's audiences are always scrapping it out in any major comment section that discusses the two of them. I don't know what the whole deal is, but if you ask me, I think there's some sexual tension going on. But let's not linger on the Twitch soap opera of Hasan and Destiny. That's a full episode for another day. Let's unpack why Hasan keeps torching his own empire with the kind of unhinged takes that make his 2.7 million followers either worship him or wince. This guy's got a gift for stepping on rakes and expecting his fans to call it a dance move. Let's pile on two more controversies to show how he keeps sabotaging himself. First, there's the Israel-Palestine firestorm that's been burning since 2023. Hasan's out there calling Israel's actions a flat-out genocide and defending groups like Hamas as freedom fighters, which didn't just raise eyebrows, it sparked full-on advertiser boycotts in 2024, with another streamer leading the charge to paint him as anti-Semitic. A politician even wrote to Amazon, demanding Twitch kick him off the platform, but Hasan doubled down, insisting his critics were twisting his words to smear him. But the damage was done. Brands bailed, and his reputation took a hit, with even some leftists calling him divisive. Then there's the 2024 meltdown where he whined that streaming for 9 hours a day sucks the soul out, worse than a regular job. Other streamers, including the ones who's built a career on no-nonsense takes, roasted him for acting like his $200,000 a month gig was some noble sacrifice. And fans piled on, calling it a privilege slap in the face to anyone working a real 9 to 5. There aren't just slip-ups. They're Hasan waving a neon sign that says, "I'm my own worst PR." Now, let's get into the circus of fans and haters keeping Hasan's drama alive. His core crowd, those Gen Z leftists who dubbed him the woke bae for his chiseled jaw and socialist rants, will defend him like he's the second coming of Che Guevara. When the dog collar scandal hit in October 2025, with accusations he used a shock device on his husky Kea, some fans swore it was all a misunderstanding, just a clumsy moment with her dukla. A Muslim advocacy group even backed him, arguing critics were using his heritage to twist his pro-Palestine stance into something sinister, but the cracks are showing. Plenty of former fans have jumped ship, fed up with what they call his dog abuser vibes and black-pilled rants about hating his job. Other big-name streamers like a Canadian gaming legend and a World of Warcraft titan jumped in to mock his excuses, turning the scandal into a feeding frenzy. And Hasan's not just fighting fans, he's got beefs across Twitch. He's thrown shade at a fellow streamer, calling them a bald pervert over some petty mod drama, and got into it with a podcast host who accused him of sketchy takes on global conflicts. It's like Hasan starring in his own reality TV show, How to Alienate Everyone. And we're all just watching the chaos unfold. Why does Hasan keep self-destructing? It's not just the scandals, it's the whole vibe. He's like that chubby, white, balding college professor we all had. The one who'd rant about capitalist pigs while sipping overpriced coffee and cashing tenor checks. Hasan hates everything he is. He screams about rich people hoarding wealth, yet he's sitting in a $2.7 million West Hollywood mansion, spinning it as some noble investment to fight gentrification. Newsflash, Hasan, you're the one driving up property prices. He calls streaming a soul-crushing nightmare, but pockets millions from it every year, whining about nihilism while his chat showers him with donations. He's out here preaching revolution, but when the camera's off, he's living like a capitalist kingpin, flexing his biceps for thirsty fans who eat up his heartthrob act. And don't forget his 2019 classic where he said America deserved 9/11. He claimed it was edgy satire about US foreign policy. It got him a Twitch ban and it got us a half-hearted apology, but it's still the clip that haunts him, with critics saying it proves he's more provocateur than principled. He's built this image as a socialist savior, but his life screams Hollywood elite, from the mansion to the $200,000 monthly paychecks. Here's the million-dollar question. Why would anyone trust someone like that? A guy who rails against the wealthy while living like Kardashian, who trashes a system that made him a millionaire. His contradictions aren't just hilarious, they're a warning label. If he can't live up to his own ideals, how's he supposed to lead a movement? The dog collar scandal with his dog's Yelp and his flimsy dew claw excuse shows he'll dodge accountability faster than you can say Twitch ban. His Middle East takes have split the left, with half his peers calling him reckless and the other half calling him a victim. And even his fan base, those same kids who swooned over his bearded charm and made him their liberal poster boy, are starting to turn, fed up with his I hate streaming meltdowns while they fund his empire. Hasan Piker's a walking paradox, a revolutionary who's already sold out, a preacher who doesn't believe his own sermon. So is he a flawed idealist or just a grifter cashing in on outrage? Drop your comments. Should Hasan be canceled, or is he still Twitch's socialist messiah? And subscribe for the next episode, where we dive into Destiny's side of this spicy beef.